Based on a true story, Thomas Alexander's novel, A Scattering of Orphans, is the first in a three-part series offering a unique perspective through the eyes of a rural Japanese family into the impact of history's bloodiest war to date.
Hi, I'm Thomas Alexander, and I am the author of The Other Side of the Sun trilogy. It's a series of novels set in Japan during World War II, looking at the lives of the people at war and the people left behind at home.
In 1945, I was a husband, a father, and a doctor, fighting in a country far from home. The war had no place in our quiet mountain town. Far removed from the harsh realities of the front, we had largely been left to ourselves. But as Japan faltered, slowly, surely, we were forced to confront the dark shadows creeping into our lives in ways we could never have imagined. Our world had stayed out of the war for as long as it could, but it couldn't stay like that forever. The cold hand of war was approaching. It was hungry and was reaching out to take whatever was in its path. From our sons to our daughters to our very way of life. A new time was coming, and each of us would have to choose our own destiny and our place in this brave new world. This is our story. My father's, my sister's, mine. And the story of the spy who lived at the bottom of our garden. We were a family at war, and we would never be the same again.
This is not a war story. This is a story of a war and of people in or during wartime and the lives that they lead, the lives that they're forced to lead just to survive. People are people. When struggling for survival, when trying to live normal lives, it doesn't matter where you come from or what your upbringing is or what even your country is doing politically. You're a human being and you're just trying to get on with your life.
It is 1945, and the Japanese 5-year stranglehold on the South Pacific is coming to an end. They have reached the apex of their domination in Southeast Asia, and now it's the turn of the Americans to push back hard. With men scattered throughout the farthest ends of a desperate empire, in their final defense against the encroaching West, ground is being lost daily, but the Imperial Army has declared that it will never surrender.
There's a great belief that Japan was unified during World War II in a way that perhaps America or Britain wasn't. The common idea of 1 million hearts beating as one is something that's used quite a lot.
They were sitting in darkness, just outside.
There's a lot of loud talk over the intercom about the Geneva Convention. The voices are accusative and angry.
Pulling off her shoes, careful lest they might hear her.
This was a decade-long labor of love for me. I started writing it in northern Japan and I finished writing it, the last edit, in Holland. So it's been something that's stayed with me for a long, long time. Stories are something that unite us, and that's something that I was trying to get across, that this isn't an enemy. These aren't a series of war pieces. This is a human story of the tragedy of people both in the war and those left behind. I'd like to thank everyone for their support in making this possible.